Whether this is your first cruise or your 50th with Virgin Voyages, what you might bring on board will probably be a little bit different than what you would bring on a typical vacation. And in this video, we're talking about all the things that you need to think about bringing for your first voyage on Brilliant Lady, and what you definitely need to make sure that you include on your packing list. The first thing that you're going to want to make sure to bring is PJs for the PJ party. This is not just limited to Brilliant Lady. If you are sailing on any of the other ships, you're going to want to bring this as well. But embarkation day, you are always going to have a pajama party. They have a contest for best pajamas. Holiday time, Halloween, Christmas, things like that. They may have themed parties where it's best Christmas PJs or best Halloween costume. So you'll just want to pay attention to what events are happening on your sailing. But typically you're good to go with just a regular set of pajamas. Keep in mind the weather for the itinerary that you're going to be on. For me, since I'm coming from a very dry climate to the humidity of Miami for my first Brilliant sailing, I'm going to make sure I'm in shorts and a tank top because it gets really humid out in Miami. If you're in Alaska, typically the PJ party will most likely be inside depending on the weather. If you're sailing on the West Coast in either Alaska or possibly in one of the LA itineraries, prepare for if there's bad weather, they may move the PJ party inside to the red room. So you'll be in a smaller enclosed space where it might get a little bit hot. So make sure that you're wearing weather appropriate pajamas. The second most important outfit of your sailing is going to be for Scarlet Night. Scarlet Night is where everyone is wearing red. The ship is decked out in red. The crew is decked out in Scarlet Night attire. So you just want to make sure you bring a splash of red. It can be a t-shirt, it can be a pair of shorts. I really like mixing colors with it because with the different lights, if you're, trying to take pictures for Instagram or anything like that, the all red can kind of blend in. So make sure if you're wanting to do that, add some white in there or other colors just to kind of make you not blend in as much. But if you're not worried about that, wear as much red as you want. For the Electric Glow Party, this is a new club night that is only on Brilliant Lady. It is exclusive to this ship, and it is anything glowy and neon that you can find. So whether that's just a t-shirt, a tank top, glow sticks, however glowy you want to get is okay. Just make sure you bring something neon. The next club night is going to be Disco Reimagined. This is, again, exclusive to Brilliant Lady. It's very similar to if you were on any of the other ships in the past few years. Their circus disco night, 70s music, disco themed, but they've reimagined it a little bit, and that reimagination of it is exclusive to Brilliant. So if you feel like going on theme and dressing in a disco theme, feel free to do that. I am gonna be just wearing something glittery just because that's more my vibe. And it kind of fits the theme in a way. So yeah, I'll throw in a few examples here of what I'm gonna wear, but totally up to you if you wanna dress up for the club nights. I would say if there are any to dress up for, it's mainly gonna be Scarlet Night and PJ Party. Other than that, they're kind of optional, and if you feel like doing them, great. If you don't, even better. Now, if you are someone that likes to work out when you're traveling, this is for you. There are a couple workout classes on Virgin that you may want to dress up for. Well, one in particular, and that is going to be the VHS workout. This is one, it is Richard Simmons on steroids, basically. They've got the shake weights in there, they've got everything, and everyone loves to dress up in 80s aerobic attire for this class. It is so funny seeing people walk across the ship in this in the mornings when they do that. So if you really want to get into the theme of it, you can. If not, there's lots of people that also just go in their regular workout gear. Speaking of workouts, make sure if you are a exercise person that you're bringing workout clothes because they have an amazing gym on the ship, amazing workout classes that are included in your cruise fare. So definitely make sure you bring those along. The greatest thing about sailing with Virgin is that there are no formal nights on board. So if you don't feel like dressing up for dinner, you don't have to. There is no dress code for any of the restaurants. There are people like me that like to dress up. I dress up based on the theme of the restaurant and the vibe of the restaurant. That's just what I enjoy doing. But there's a lot of people that don't, and that's okay. The best part about Virgin is that you literally can just come as you are, wear what you're comfortable in, and that is the goal of what they want you to experience, is that you can be unapologetically yourself. So don't be afraid if you are just not feeling like doing your hair or makeup or anything like that, and you just want to come in shorts and a tank top, you can. If you just want to wear what you were wearing to brunch earlier today, you can. You don't have to be extra like me and plan 3-4 outfits a day. It's totally up to you how you want to do it based on how you are feeling and what your vibe for the trip is. Now, with Brilliant Lady, there are a lot of new itineraries where you may want to consider bringing a lot of different things that you wouldn't typically bring on a cruise. Since Brilliant is going to be the first ship sailing to Alaska in the Virgin Fleet, and really the only ship because the other ones can't get over to that side of the country, definitely make sure you are bringing attire for the itinerary that you are sailing. I'm going to do a deeper dive into a packing list specifically for Alaska once we get closer to those sailings next year. But definitely, no matter what itinerary you're on, make sure you bring a light jacket. Sometimes it can get a little cold inside, especially during the shows. So just make sure you've got one on you just in case. The other essential accessory that you might want to bring on your Virgin voyage is a hat. Especially for those sea days, the sun can be beating down on you, especially in the Caribbean. So make sure you bring some kind of sun hat, baseball hat, whatever you are most comfortable in to keep that sun out of your eyes. Next is obviously going to be swimwear and a cover up. Whether you're planning on using the pool or going to the spa or swimming in the ocean, you just want to make sure you're covered and you've got plenty of swimwear for each port stop. Now, I'm just going to throw in some ideas for the ladies that might be watching of things that I am planning for my first sailing for each dinner, just so you can get a feeling of the kind of way that I dress in the evenings. But again, I'm an overpacker. I bring extra outfits in case I'm not feeling like wearing one of these. So I always go in with the best intentions to wear what I bring, and then I'm like, I am not feeling it today, and I will just wear something comfortable. It really just depends on the day and what we've been doing and how long we've been in port, really. So we're going to start off with extra virgin. I'll throw in some pictures here of outfits I've worn in the past, but it is very chic restaurant. So I just try to keep it simple for that one. Italian is kind of what I go for. I kind of picture things that I would wear if I was in the Mediterranean or going to Italy. That's what I plan for extra virgin. Rojo is the new restaurant that is in the space where Razzle Dazzle used to be. It is only open for dinner, so you're still gonna have Razzle Dazzle brunch in the morning. But for Rojo, I am planning on wearing this for our first dinner there. I just felt like it really fit the vibe of the restaurant. The colors, it kind of blends in with the colors and the tones that are in there. And I would absolutely wear this on a trip to Spain. And it would be so comfy. So I'm very excited for that one. The Wake is the steakhouse on board. And while you're thinking steakhouse, I need to dress up, you absolutely do not. There are people that come in shorts and flip-flops and a polo. There's people that really dress up. Again, it depends on you and what you are comfortable with. There are times where I have gotten really dressed up, and there's times where I've just worn a sundress, and then, brunch is a little bit more casual. So it really depends on the time of day you're going and what events are going on that day. Now, Pink Agave is another fun one. This is the other Mexican restaurant that is on board. And I try to go floral, things that I would wear if I was vacationing in Mexico. It was kind of the vibe that I go. But last year, we actually did Scarlet Night on our dinner to Pink Agave. So we were all wearing our Scarlet Night attire, which was definitely a vibe. So highly recommend that. If that's what you're wanting to do. And then last but not least is Gunbay. Gunbay, I always try to dress fun, but we've also done a couple different things. We really like doing Gunbay on the first night because you get to make friends for the rest of the trip with the people that you're sitting with if you get a good group. So the times that I have done Gunbay on a night that's not Scarlet Night, we just kind of dress fun. I try to go with the colors of the room, something that kind of matches that vibe. But we also really enjoy doing it on Scarlet Night and have all worn our Scarlet Night attire. So again, it depends on the itinerary of your cruise and what you are comfortable in. Now, for any of the men that are watching this, you guys have it the easiest, I feel like, because you really don't have to think about what you are bringing. Again, you can wear a polo and shorts, a polo and slacks. You can wear a t-shirt and shorts. I have seen a little bit of everything in all of my Virgin sailings. So whatever you are feeling for that day is what you can wear. Now, if your wife says otherwise, I can't help you there, because I would be that wife. Now, the two other essentials that I definitely would make sure that you add to your packing list at this stage is your passport and a tote bag. Your passport is what you're going to use to get on board. You can definitely come on board with a birth certificate or an ID, but I highly recommend doing a passport. It just makes things so much easier and causes less issues when you're trying to check in. So you will want to make sure that your passport has at least 6 months of validity after your debarkation date. So make sure you check that ahead of time, just so you're not scrambling to get your passport before you board. Now, the tote bag is going to be essential for your pool days and your port days. And you may want to even bring like a drawstring bag for your port days. I just prefer a tote. So I will usually bring something like this. And it's kind of nice to have just to carry like my camera, my phone, and other things around the ship as well. Just kind of depends how much stuff you have to bring with you. I typically don't bring it to dinners because you obviously don't need a purse or anything at dinner, but anything where I'm taking my camera or my water bottle, I definitely bring my tote bag. So like I said earlier in the video, the best part about Virgin is that you get to wear and be whatever you are most comfortable wearing and being. The things that I might wear on a Virgin voyage may not be the same as you. This video is just to give you ideas of the things you can wear, things that you may want to think about wearing, and categories of things to make sure you're packing. Be sure to also check out my video on the full packing essentials that you will need for your cruise. I go into detail on all the different things that you may not think of and things that you can and can't bring on board. So I'll put that in the description down below and up here somewhere so you can click on it. But thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Happy cruising.